Hey, welcome everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the GoPro Hero10 hydrophobic lens cover, looking at whitewater kayaking application. Those of you who are boaters know that with the old GoPros, those lens covers, you often had to do things like splash them, lick them, and then often dipping them in the water. And despite that, there'd be many times where I would prep my lens and then you'd be paddling along, and right before you get to a crux move or something you want to capture, you get that spot just like this. It just pops right on there. In this case, I didn't realize it was there, and so it obstructed me shooting some buddies, catching this little flake boof as well. And then we'll take a quick look at the Hero 10 here just for comparison. We'll get to more comparisons in a sec, but you can see it's getting splashed and staying pretty clear overall. Back to the 9, now we're seeing some splotches that are showing up. They often will be on kind of the bottom or the top edges, seem to cling to the edges of the lens cover. And often the only thing that'll get rid of them is like when you get underwater like this and then pop up and it would kind of clear out. Got a nasty spot right in the middle of the Hero 9 here, and we're going to do a comparison looking at both the 10 and the 9 side by side. This is going into the same rapid. You can see that both covers have a pretty good spot on them, and if you pay close attention, you'll see right as I get to the rapid here with the Hero 10, the water droplet's going to come off. It's not getting splashed right there, it just falls off, and that doesn't happen with the 9. I really never observed that happen with the 9. You can see the 9 getting splashed here, and it's kind of difficult to see. It's not a clear picture. The 10, you can see a little bit of a spot on it, and that's what I've noticed, is that the 10 will often have tiny little spots that don't really totally interfere, whereas the 9 doesn't clear off until you roll. Now you can see the 9 nice and clear. Making our way to the South Santiam on the concussion run. This is Scrawley's Wall. Going to look at some Hero 10 footage from this run. You'll be able to see here that the lens cover is getting splashed a decent amount and it's staying pretty clear. This is Concussion Rapid itself, and this one is a pretty good example of kind of how this lens cover has been working on average. So you can see it getting splashed, and you're going to see a little bit of kind of spotting, especially in the upper part. Tends to be these tiny little spots. They don't totally obstruct your view. They just cloud the image a little bit, and then they tend to kind of clear off or dry out. This is another good example. It gets splashed quite a bit there, and as you can see looking upstream, it's a pretty clear image. Now we're going to make our way up to Washington, doing some laps on Hewsome Falls. We are doing practice laps. We're going to start with the Hero 9 here. You can kind of see how get some water on the lens cover. This is a particularly tough place for these lens covers because there's a lot of spray and mist coming off the falls. This is a separate, different lap here, just trying to provide a few examples of what was typical. You can see in the Hero 9 gets a lot of water on the lens cover. Now we're switching to a 10, and you'll see that it does perform definitely different. We still see those little water spots, get a little bit of a sun effect on them. Got a separate lap here, again with the Hero 10. Up next, we are going to take a look at a side-by-side of Hewsome Falls. We got the Hero 9 and 10. In addition to the lens performance, take a look at the difference in color, especially of the water. I've got both of these cameras basically set the exact same, and you can see on the right that it's much more blue. You can also see that that lens cover is quite a bit more clouded on the 9 versus the 10. All right, we're going to head back to Pack Saddle on the North Santiam. This is the Carnivore Rapid that we saw at the beginning. It had the water spot right in the middle when I was trying to catch those guys on the flake boof. This was just another group out that day. I decided to shoot some footage of them coming through it, and you can see it's at higher flow, but you also can see that there's a water spot or two on the lens cover, and this was one of the only times that I saw this with the Hero 10, so I thought it was worth noting. We're going to do a quick water test here. Unfortunately, I already sold the Hero 9, so I can't compare them side by side, but we're going to do a little water running, and then I'm also going to do a bit of a spray bottle. So not perfect, but definitely has an effect. So the last thing that I want to discuss are the upgrade options. If you have the Hero9, you can apparently purchase the same lens cover, the Hero10, and replace it. They do show up on Google searches as two different item numbers, and it's a little bit confusing because when you go to GoPro's website, at least in the past, it showed the Hero10 compatible with the 9 and 10, and then it also showed another one that was just the Hero10. When I went and did a search more recently, that's the only thing that shows up now, and when you go in and look at the details, it really doesn't say anything about being compatible with the Hero9, and as you can see here, people are posting questions just to try to be sure. So everything I understand, it is compatible, and for about $35 with shipping, you could upgrade your Hero9 and get that hydrophobic lens cover without having to upgrade the camera. And if you do decide to upgrade, just remember you've got that new hydrophobic lens cover. You do not want to lick it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you with a Hewsome Falls beatdown and a little bit of a Hero9 lens cover fail.